Hey folks, this is Pamela coming on her video platform, Keeping It Real. And as the story says, I'm keeping it real tonight. I know I haven't been on here in a while. I've been kind of staying offline and laying cool. I didn't watch any of the Trump trials due to the fact that I do have borderline high blood pressure, as diagnosed by my doctor last year, and I'm trying to maintain my mental health. But I've been watching a lot of video commentaries about recent hush money trial and how scared Trump must be and how he had fallen asleep during the court case. Let's not forget that, shall we? Donald John Trump has faced the judge today. He has been found guilty on all 34 counts in the hush money trial today. For once, the judicial system did something absolutely right. Now he's like every other con. Not only is he a twice impeached president, he was found guilty in E. Jean Carroll, and he was found guilty today in the hush money trial. Wow, that is killer. You know, he couldn't piss and moan his way out of a paper bag on this one. And I think the deciding factor for me was his overall tone during the trial. He would sit there, get loud some days, fall asleep some days, and the way you act in court can really put an impression on the jury. How you act in court gives an outward appearance to your peers. He's not innocent. He paid hush money, just like P. Diddy has been trying to pay hush money to a hotel where he beat down a woman. Come on. Donald John Trump is guilty as a motherfucker. So, yeah. Now he'll have to face however long they're going to sentence him. If they're going to sentence him, I don't know. Like I said, I've been staying offline, trying to take care of my health. I'm trying to get things done around here, like getting a new bathtub and a ramp put on my house. Yeah. My knees are shot. I can't climb my stairs much anymore. Stinks. But seeing as how Medicare and Medicaid won't cover that shit, I had to find a way to get it taken care of for me. And no, I don't work. I'm physically disabled. Donald Trump would want me in a nursing home, and I would rather die than go there. But Donald Trump, you're going to face your crimes. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time, you son of a bitch. People are talking about it on Facebook. I'm sure people will be talking about it tomorrow on YouTube. I haven't looked at any videos on YouTube. None. I've been watching police cams all day. You know, I never thought I would see the day that the judicial system would work in our favor. We, the American people. You know, when the trial started, I didn't watch because I thought that they were going to kiss his ass again. Just like he's dodged the bullet several other times. But he should be in jail along with, he should be in jail with Harvey Weinstein. And I hear P. Diddy is in some huge shit. So, yeah. I don't know how much time he'll get, but I said he had been found guilty today, and it's about damn time, wouldn't you say? If anybody has any comments, they could leave them in the sidebar, and I will be sure to read them. But I wanted to get on here tonight to talk about Donald Trump. And I also want to take a moment to tell you that I'm going to be looking for a new computer. Seems now I have to get a new computer because my old computer is considered a relic by Windows, who is deciding to end Windows 10 in October of next year. So yeah, I got to save up a bunch of money for a new computer, possibly a new camera, and whatever else I'll probably need to carry on what I'm trying to do here. You know, a lot of people thought I would be talking out of my ass. Like I said, I don't feel sorry for people like Donald Trump. I don't feel sorry for people like P. Diddy. They use their power and position to bully and manipulate and lie and lie and lie and lie. But this last time in court, Midas Touch, some of the good people at Midas Touch, not the people on the Facebook group. But there's one gentleman that talked about often how nervous Donald Trump is. And I heard that Donald Trump was trying to intimidate people that were being selected into the jury. But they didn't buckle. It took a couple of days. They heard the evidence. They heard the evidence throughout this trial. I didn't watch any of it because, like I said, I'm a borderline high blood pressure patient. And right now, my health is really important. I get to sleep at a reasonable hour, and I can at least sleep better at night knowing that Donald Trump was found guilty tonight. Man, it feels good knowing that the wheels of justice are finally working in our favor. Donald Trump is found guilty on 34 charges. Let's see what Yahoo is talking about tonight, if I could pull it up. Okay, Yahoo. And let's see. Trump found guilty on all counts in historic hush money trial. So this is a historic day, people. You know, this is what they're talking about. And, you know, you can go to Yahoo and you can read the breakdown. I'm not going to do that tonight. But it says, Trump verdict live updates. Trump found guilty on 34 counts of falsifying his business records, becoming the first U.S. president to be convicted on criminal charges. So this is a historic first, ladies and gentlemen. And it says here, Donald Trump again has been convicted of falsifying his business accounts to influence the 2016 presidential campaign. Today, a historic day which saw a former U.S. president face criminal charges for the first time. Good. And it says, after deliberating for over 2 days, a jury in New York found Trump guilty of all 34 counts related to a $130,000 payment made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. The prosecution had alleged that she was paid to keep secret a 2006 tryst she had with Trump in order to influence the results of the 2016 election. And it says Trump's sentencing has been scheduled for July 11th. So July 11th is the sentencing day for Donald John Trump. You know, mark that on your calendars, July 11th. And it says the trial lasted a month and a half and was pretty eventful. In addition to the fiery testimonies of Daniels and Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, Trump was held in contempt of court 10 times and fined $10,000 for violating a gag order against attacking people involved with this trial. Many Republican leaders, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, traveled to New York to speak out in support of this so-called presidential candidate. of course, the Republican flees into court to support that idiot. Trump, who didn't testify in his defense, is likely to appeal his verdict. The result may have an impact on Trump's chances to reclaim the White House. However, recent Yahoo News Gov polling suggested a conviction would hurt Trump in head-to-head polling against Joe Biden. And the House Speaker says it's a shameful day in American history. I hate to tell him, the head of the House that's out there now that's supporting this asshole, no, the wheels of justice did the thing tonight. The wheels of justice did the right thing. Because how you act in court and how you present yourself can put you in a negative light or a positive light. Trump decided to be an asshole and intimidate people coming into the case. Made himself look like a real asshole. He act like what they call a Don, if they were, you know. A scumbag con man is all Donald Trump is. You know, I'll tell you what the greatest shame in history is: the attack on our Capitol in 2020. You know, Joe Biden winning the election, and his so-called sick, twisted followers went to the Capitol, said they were there for Donald Trump, and they tore up our Capitol. People wiping feces on the floor. That old fart that was sitting at Nancy Pelosi's desk, they were looking to kill her. They were looking to hang Mike Pence, remember? Never ever forget what Donald Trump did. And then they tried to embarrass Stormy Daniels when she was arrested here in my city of Columbus. He even tried to hush up E. Jean Carroll. Remember that? Maybe they need to go after all these sexual allegations of Donald Trump. Jesus Christ. But you know, they did get him on falsifying court records. Michael Cohen stood up to his former boss. Michael Cohen learned from his mistakes. Michael Cohen went to jail. It humbled him. It made him a lot older. You know? He says, I've seen what they do in jail. It's not fun. Maybe that's what Trump needs, is somebody to scare him in prison. Maybe he'll get one of those guys that gets a fixation on other men and wants to hurt him. You know, it's just a good night tonight, you know? Trump, his lard butt will probably rebuke the whole thing, but you know, whether it helps him or hurts him in the election, I'm not going to vote for that asshole. I'm not going to vote for Trump. I can't. And I won't. We saw what he did to this country in 2016 through 2020. Not going to happen. Let's not forget his followers were following buses of people going to vote or to rallies. His followers were so demented, they were willing to knock people off the road just trying to get to the pollings. So don't ever forget what Donald Trump tried to do to this country. For once, the wheels of justice have finally worked. They should have put him in prison after he had the first contempt of court on this one. Over 10 times he was found in contempt of court. He knows it's going to hurt. Marlena certainly hasn't been around. Maybe it's better for her that she isn't. She needs to divorce him if she's going to survive. But then he's supposedly the money train. But Donald Trump is found guilty tonight. And a lot of friends that I know are very happy. Anybody who lies and steals and bilks his way through life doesn't deserve to be on the streets. And I think about that Florida man. I can't think of his name. Walter somebody, who was saying horrible things about harming police and wanting to rape a canine dog. You could probably find the video on Law and Crime. Yeah, he sounds like a demented idiot. In fact, it wasn't the first time that guy was caught on camera wanting to do horrible things to our police officers and hurting animals, hurting the deputies' families and other policemen's families. Think about the people that Donald Trump is pandering to. And a lot of his people wound up in prison after the January 6th attack on our Capitol. Some of them even committed suicide because of that. Because Donald Trump promised them that he would pardon them, but he never did. A lot of them are now realizing that they've been snookered by this con man. To me, Donald Trump will always be the washed up TV Mr. You're Fired that you see on TV. He was nothing. His father was nothing. The only ones who became somebodies out of that Trump family was Mary Trump and her father. Mary Trump's father did not want to be part of the Trump organization. He wanted to have a regular life, maybe be a pilot, raise his family, and be happy. But there was always a nagging thing that he had to please his father. But when his son wouldn't take part in the organization, Trump Sr. put all his hatred and vitriol into the youngest boy, Donald Trump. And we see where this gets us, right? Trump is a man that has never accepted responsibility for anything. He's never been in the service. Sure, he went to military school, but I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that he never did his schoolwork. He had other people doing his shit for him. He doesn't know the meaning of honor and dignity if it bit him in the nose. My father was a proud Air Force man. And he said, I kept the planes flying so that our troops could do their duty. When they call you up to do your duty, you damn well better do your duty. He says, I wasn't on the front lines, Pammy, but at times it sure felt like you were. And there would be times I would go to bed at night scared I might not wake up. Maybe my barracks would get bombed. That's a hell of a thing to think about. But real men, real patriotic men and women stand up for their country. Sometimes they're put into a war that they don't want to be in. Remember Korea? Remember Vietnam? Many people came back disillusioned, but you know what? When you're called up to do a duty, whether you want to do it or not, you have to go. That's what an American patriot does. They don't sit on their computer drinking Diet Cokes, belittling people, and making other people feel worthless. Trump delights in seeing other people in pain. He talks about Putin like they're both fuck buddies or something. And he tried to silence E. Jean Carroll. He tried to silence Stormy Daniels. But not tonight. And thank God for that. Because in truth, when the trial started, I'm like, I'm not going to watch. That's not good for my blood pressure. That's not good for my mental health. My brother John now knows I hate Trump as the day is long. maybe now, somebody who is a sexual assault survivor. I am a sexual assault survivor, okay? I have no sympathy for Kevin Spacey or Bill Cosby or none of these other motherfuckers that are getting away with it. And I certainly don't deal with people who beat their women. You wouldn't put it past me if Trump beat his woman, Marlena. I've seen videos of her where he tries to hold her hand and she don't want to be near him. And I hope and pray to God that if that $2 looking hooker, a wife of his, has any soul left in her at all, she will divorce that man. Maybe if she divorces that man and gets herself a better life, I might respect her. Nobody deserves to be under the boot of a bully, and that's exactly what Trump is. I want to see him in the same grave as Putin and Kim Jong-un. They all belong in the same grave. But again, Trump will probably appeal his decision. He has every right to in this country. But again, if you know somebody that has been to court and had to go through, had to go either as a defendant, you're a prosecutor or you're a defendant, and you're told you can't talk to your family, you have to be sequestered, you cannot intimidate witnesses, and if you don't like the judge, you keep your mouth shut. You do the case, whether the judge likes him or he hates you, he's there to do a job. Just like the people in the jury were there to do a job. And you do not, by any circumstances, intimidate anybody, whether it's the jury or the judge or their families. And he's been a regular mess. And I think the stress is killing him. They said he hasn't been sleeping. And he was up at all hours of the night asking people for help. It's eating away at him. His whole ruse is coming down, as it should. But Trump, you better start acting like a man, because your time is at an end, pal. Even if you were running for president, I will never vote for you. I will never kiss your ass. I know what true honor to this country is. Because without people like my dad, we would not have the country that we have today. But you want to take away many rights for people, disability rights, rights for women and their autonomy. They want to kill off the transgender community. They want to shame and possibly kill off the LGBTQ community. Let me tell you something, son. We're all human. We all have the right to live, eat, and breathe, right? Who in the hell are you to say, well, you're either this way or you're this way? Or people like me should be in an institution. I forget who told me this, but they said that people like me, a person with cerebral palsy or other disabilities, were often put in nursing homes. We're often made to feel like we should be seen and not heard, like we're just part of the furniture. It isn't fair. It isn't right. Here I am. I turned 53 last month. I didn't even bother to put up a celebration list this year because I didn't feel like doing it. That's how far below Trump made me feel the last 4 years that he was in office. Maybe I should be dead, I often would ask myself. Sometimes I'd go to bed at night and cry and cry and cry. And I talked about a friend of mine who is in the LGBTQ community that died about, a little over a year ago, Timmy Stone. Remember, I talked about him and posted a few songs on this channel in his memory? Yeah. It sucks. I miss him every day. I try not to think about it because it gets me upset. I want to cry about it, but I don't because I know he wouldn't want me to do that. He would want me to get up, play my favorite records every day, enjoy the sun when it does come out. Trump wants to kill all that. Remember the flower garden at the White House that was turned all white due to Marlena? Are you kidding me? And you want that piece of monstrosity back in the White House? I don't think so. Not on my watch. But Donald Trump has been found guilty on all 34 counts tonight. I feel pretty damn good that the wheels of justice have finally swung in the right direction for us, the good old US of A. And like I said, fuck the Republican Party. Marjorie Taylor Greene and her bleach blonde butch body can take the back door and let the door hit her in the ass where the good Lord split her, if you believe in the Lord, which I don't. I have my reasons. So before you down me about my feelings about Donald Trump, never forget what he said and did during his 4 years in office. And even before that. Yeah, I grabbed her by the pussy. I moved in on him like a bitch. I don't even have to ask. Billy Bush loses his job, and that fat fuck got the White House. Go and listen to Ice Cube's Arrest the President. Did you know the new white was orange? Everything Ice Cube said was absolutely 100% true. And when he used the N-word in his rap song, you could bet Donald Trump actually said that word. No doubt in my mind. And Mary Trump warned us about this man. Like I said, the only smarts that came out of that family was Mary and her father. But again, Mary's father tried so hard to please his dad that he never did. So Mary's father drunk himself to death. He died in his 40s. And the family didn't have the balls to tell her that her father was really dead while she was at college. Check out the book Too Much and Never Enough. That'll tell you all you need to know about how fucked up that whole family is. And like Mary said, he never got over the fact that somebody had the guts to dump a bowl of mashed potatoes on little Donnie's head when he was a kid. He never progressed past the toddler stage. There was a show that I think it was on Comedy Central called The President's Show, where they had a guy dress up like Donald Trump, and it was like a skit, and they went to a preschool, and he was hanging out with the kids and trying to read his book, The Art of the Deal, if you can remember that. And when it came time for him to go, he had a nap and everything with the kids. And when it came time to go, Trump was, the character Trump was screaming, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And somebody made the remark, you want to bet that's how he'll be when he's voted out of office in 2020? And the attack on the Capitol happened. And that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. And I'm telling you, Donald Trump, you better man up. Because you're not going to bench press your way out of this one, son. You can't. You can't. You're not going to be like the weird neighbor from Jingle All the Way. You're not going to do that anymore. If you guys remember the film Jingle All the Way about the creepy neighbor always moving in on Howard's wife, And by the end, she stood up for herself. She took that eggnog and slammed it into his head and got out of the van. Yep. Donald Trump, you cannot hide your lies anymore. You cannot intimidate people anymore. You cannot bully and harass judges. You cannot target their families. They're just there to do a job. And it's about time somebody put the hammer down on Donald Trump. He still has not paid back E. Jean Carroll her money. He lost that case too, remember. He's twice impeached, twice indicted. He's got to pay E. Jean Carroll, and now he's got to face sentencing. He should get no money in his commissary. He should get no money in his fucking commissary. All that money he does earn, or any assets that are indeed liquidated, should go to his victims. He tried to embarrass and humiliate Stormy Daniels when she was arrested in my city. And she fought for her right to be heard, and I'm glad she did. You know, some people have to do what they got to do to raise their kids. You know, she was a dancer. You know, just like Marlena probably had to do what she had to do. But now she has to live with the blowback that there are nude pictures of her out there online. So, yeah. So, Donald, you're on your own, man. You are on your own, convicted on 34 counts tonight. 34 counts. You count them. You can go and look through public records. I'm sure this will all be made public. We, as an American country, have a right to know. And I'll be sure to link the video in the description here. Let's see if I still have it here. Yeah. I think it might be too big, but don't worry. I'll still put it down below whether they allow links or not. If you know how to copy and paste, you can do that. I'm just here to give you the news. Oh, you'll have to forgive me. Sinuses, you know. But Donald Trump, you're going to have to pull up your man pants and take your medicine like a man. Because you do the crime, you falsify records, you intimidate witnesses, you don't pay your bills. You have to face that. No more getting around it, son. To me, you'll just be a burnt-out reality star. So, I hope you all have a good night. And as the title of my channel says, Pamela Parrish was here keeping it real just for you. So, I'm sorry I don't have the bells and whistles of most channels like Midas Touch or Stephen A. Smith. But I'm hoping to change that sometime within the new year with a new computer. But I got to save up the money for that. So let me know what you think about this historic day in the courts in New York City. His own city. He lost a case in his own city. He should be in the same jail as, say, R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby when he was in jail, Kevin Spacey, remember him? He's another predator that's got problems. So, yeah. Again, how you present yourself in court, Donald Trump, probably swayed the jury in more ways than one. It took 2 days, but I think they need to take everything into consideration because how you act in court really impacts your outcome. Look at the guy who hit those people in the parade. Remember that weirdo? He was acting all crazy, but he was completely sane. He was sane enough to represent himself. And yet he got a lot of time in prison. So they think they're the smartest people in the world. No. Trump thought he was the smartest person in the room, I bet. But he's not. He's dumber than a bag of shit. And he needs to pay for his crimes. Falsifying your finances. That's not good. That lies to your billers. That lies to the IRS. They need to go back through all his records. I don't know if there is such a thing as a TCMP where they go over every single line of every return for the last 7 years. And if they find any evidence of fraud, that they should go back indefinitely. But in the case of Donald Trump, I would say skip the 7 years. We're going to go back to the very beginning. Yeah. And I can't wait to hear what's going to happen. They probably won't give him a lot of time, but I'm not going to watch that because, my health is very, very important. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to vote in November, please vote for anyone other than Trump. I don't care if you vote for Mickey Mouse. I don't care if you vote for Scooby-Doo. For the love of Pete, don't put Trump back in office. We saw what damage he did. We saw what damage he did at this last trial. He tried to smear E. Jean Carroll. He tried to smear Stormy Daniels. He tried to smear everybody, even Michael Cohen. And even when Nancy Pelosi and Mike Pence weren't going his way, he wanted them gone. Please, don't forget what Donald Trump has done. And please, watch the sentencing in July on the 11th, please. It's important. For those that have the stomach for it, please watch. And share it with your family. If they're hardcore Trumpers, you need to share it with your family. And Marlena is doing a good thing by distancing herself from this. If she's smart, maybe she'll divorce him. She should. Anybody who belittles people trying to do their bit for this country, whether it's fucking jury duty or being a judge on a bench, they're just trying to do a job. But Donald Trump does not have the right to sit there and belittle, and he should never fall asleep in the middle of a fucking court case. It's killing him. It's killing him like he's killed a lot of people during the COVID pandemic. Telling people to drink fish tank cleaner. I can't think of the name of it right now. Hydroxychloroquine. If you want to learn all about that, go to Randy Rainbow and have a laugh. It's called A Spoonful of Clorox. Yeah. Where he was talking about injecting some stuff into the veins to knock it out. Remember that? Never forget what Trump has done. And this indeed today is a historic day that the wheels of justice have hit us again in the right direction. Probably for what, the 4th time? Twice impeached? Twice indicted president? Come on. Come on, Dunning. Grow a set of balls, dude. All right, gang. I'm out of here. As the title says, I'm here to keep it real. And today was about as real as it got, baby. Woo! Good night, everybody. Sleep well. Love to all my brothers and sisters in the world today. Thank you. Bye-bye.